Nanodosed podcast.
The Nanodosed podcast. Welcome to the Nanodosed podcast, where you get a dose of how to take action of efficient adulting. I am your host, your tour guide, your bus driver, the conductor for this another episode. I'm a Shiva. So, guys, Nanodosers, well gone. Did you guys miss me? Did you miss I? Did you miss us? Did you miss a relationship or partnership or deal? Because I did. I've been thinking about y'all every night, every day, knowing that I have been so delinquent in delivering some content to you guys that you rightfully deserved and that I rightfully promised. But even before I tell you why I've been away, let me just say that my inadequacies are not excuses for not delivering the promised content. Let me put that out there. Truth is, I have been confused as to what content to deliver next. And it's not because I'm out of ideas in content production, because y'all, I got lists and ideas and prospective interviewees lined up and geared up for you. So it's not that I'm really out of content and ideas, but I think in my spirit, I really wanted to change things up, and I was battling in this particular episode because y'all's, there's a lot of truth and surprises and what's and who, in this episode, all summed up as transparency. So I really wanted to share this with you, and I think that's why it took me so long to produce this content, because it took me a while to get the courage to really produce the content. So forgive me for my delinquencies. I hope I'm forgiven by many. I know I have my weekly listeners tuning in week after week, and to you guys, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being so committed to just enjoy the ride and enjoy my story, enjoy, highlights of really issues that we as just people are facing. So thank you for joining me, and I really appreciate everyone who has, subscribed, who has commented, liked, listened, who has just joining with the whole Nanodose Nanodosed family. I appreciate it to the depths of my heart. So big up to everybody who tune in to the Nanodosed podcast. But moving in, y'all, I really want to explore the topic or the theme why I started the Nanodosed podcast. I won't even nullify the fact that 2019 was a tough year for me. It came to kill, destroy, and bury me, literally. And I remember just continuously going down the path of mental overload, emotional overload, stress, fatigue, weight gain, depression. It was intense. It was an intense year. For me, I can literally hands down say 2019 has been the hardest year of my life. And I've been through stuff. I've been through a lot in my life. And some people might be saying, she not go through nothing. Sheena not go through nothing. I don't know. A lot of people know me as different things, I have multiple names. Sheena, Ashiva, Vashina, Vash. You know what I mean? Yeah, you might be listening and you're saying, you don't go through much. You don't have much to go through. You seem fine every time I say you're always smiling, always chirpy, friendly, etc. But like any other human, I'm not going to be walking around with my problems on my forehead, announcing to the world that, I'm going through this and I'm going through that. Like most people, I'm going to do what? Cover it all up with a smile. I'm good. Everything is dandy. Yeah, man, I'm good. But persons who we confide in will know the truth to our story. Will know that we're going through things. And they'll understand why we even pretend that everything is alright. And I remember while I was just in that valley, it was a literal valley of darkness, Christ, because it's no one else but Jesus. And that's truth. The Lord allowed a lot of things to be revealed to me, why I was going through what I was going through. And the truth is, I have been distracted in other elements of my life, and I was focusing on the wrong things. Or I was giving too much attention to other things more than giving it to where my attention is rightfully due, and that back to Christ, right? So in that space, God revealed to me why I was going through it. And I understood, but it was still hard. Thankfully, when you have a circle of people who you can confide in, you can tell them about your story. They can talk sense into you when you're talking nonsense, you know what I'm with it? And they can put you back on the right track, especially when they're Christians or they are of similar beliefs like you. It puts you in a better space to communicate to them and them to you. So at that time, my circle was really small and it consumed of about 3 to 4 persons. So 3 to 4 persons knew the true extent of what I was going through at that time. Now fast forwarding months later, possibly 2 months later, I remember going to bed. And family, I cannot tell you what happened between the hours I was going to sleep and the hours I woke up. I can't tell you. I don't know if I got a dream or a vision while I was sleeping. I can't recall if I got an epiphany before I went to sleep and I woke up with that epiphany in my mind. I can't say. But what I can say is when I woke up, I started researching how to start a podcast, equipment I'm going to need to start a podcast, I started looking at simplest podcast setups and everything podcast related, because by the time I woke up, I had already decided that I'm going to start a podcast because I need to share my story, 1, and 2, I need to encourage people my age and even older or younger who are just going through the same things that I've been through, to just show them that it's all right. And because most of the things that I've been through, everything that you go through, it's social and it's spiritual. Let's put that out there. But oftentimes we focus on the spiritual aspect of things, but we don't focus enough on how to navigate through the social aspect. And therefore, my podcast, now I'm a Christian hands down, so whatever I say is going to reflect biblical terms naturally, right? But my podcast, I wanted it to reflect a social term more so of a spiritual, because as I said before, I wanted us to learn how to adapt and how to function when we're going through certain issues. So that's one reason really why I chose to start. Now, after deciding I was going to start, and after purposing in my heart that it's just gonna be a part of the journey, guess what came in? So in came fear, defeat, self-doubt, self-insufficiencies, faults, flaws, and all. It came right through the door and it knocked me off my face. And this was around the time when I had already bought my equipment and all I had to do at this point was to record and launch. That's all I had to do. I remember just saying, I know about the podcasting, because honestly, it's just the enthusiasm and the drive is not there anymore. And I remember sleeping on it every night and waking up and it's just bothering me. You know when the Holy Spirit just bother you to do things? That is just something that I didn't want to do. And let me be honest with you. To every creative that is on social media or that is on the internet at large doing their individual stuff, commendations to all you guys, because this thing takes a lot of drive. It takes a lot of confidence and it takes a lot of motivation to keep going, even the critiques are criticizing, and even when the noise is louder than the silence. You feel me? It takes a lot to just keep persevering and keep pushing. And the same resonates for me. it took me so much to just tell myself that, yes, you can. You know what I mean? And it's not because I had a low self-esteem or I didn't believe in myself enough. Maybe I really didn't. But, you know, like when you're making a social media post, but because this post is not in your element, it puts you outside of your comfort zone. You're really kind of skeptic of really posting whatever you wanted to post. Maybe it would have been a thought or a picture or something that just does not reflect the you persons are used to. That was me. This podcast has taken me out of my comfort zone 100%. Now, I'm a person that I love to be in my comfort zone. I think my comfort zone, what has been keeping me back in a lot of areas of my life. I will say that. But for this podcast, I couldn't remain in my comfort zone. I couldn't remain in my own head. I couldn't remain in my own body. Where else am I going to go? I had to rely on Christ, honestly. And with his help, it really pushed me to get to that space of contentment, satisfaction, being uncomfortable, but yet fulfilling purpose. And that's another reason why I start, because I also believe that this podcast is a part of my purpose. And it is something that's going to take me personally to the next step. It's going to take me to another door. A door might open, or maybe it won't. Whatever it is, somebody who needs to hear what I have to say is going to hear it. And they'll be empowered to keep pressing based on what they heard. And so that is where my heart has been. And over the weeks before I launched, when I was having my cold feet momentum, I realized that this is something that I had to do. It wasn't a choice. It wasn't an option. It was something that I had to do. A lot of knowledge, applicable knowledge that can lead into action was gained by just launching this podcast. And today I'm standing on the YouTube platform. I'm standing on Spotify. I'm standing on Anchor and so many other podcast platforms. And I'm thankful for the journey, to be honest. I am so thankful for the journey. But I'm just trying to show you that it is okay to have an idea and not be sure of the direction or how to get there. But it simply takes planning, step by step implementation, and together you will get a step by step result. It's really that simple. For me, it's not about the numbers. It has never been. I know you probably go on my YouTube channel, or I guess it's a YouTube channel, but I really just call it a place where my podcast is. I don't want to look at it as a channel, because I feel like when you look at it from the point of view that I have a YouTube, it feels like customarily YouTube is known for videos, and this is not a video based podcast. So in other words, I feel like I'm really cheating the YouTube audience of what YouTube content is really quote unquote supposed to be or supposed to look like. So based on that reason, I don't like to use the term YouTube channel, but it really is a YouTube channel. But I don't look at the numbers. I really don't look at the numbers. The numbers aren't telling. I just look at it as who will hear, who should hear. They also will hear. That's how I look at it. No, don't get me wrong. Ultimately, I would love for my channel to grow. I believe growth is the epitome of new ideas and pressure, living up to a certain standards, acquiring and maintaining that presence that you have or that I would have already built, which is okay, which is fine. But that's just a part of what I believe would come with the numbers if the numbers increased. Don't get me wrong. If it's 2 people listening to me week after week, I am still delivering great content, great production to the best that I can deliver. So it's not like it would automatically increase when I get more people listening. No, I'm not saying that. All I'm just trying to say is that I am still open for growth. I'm not oblivious to the fact that my channel can grow. I'm really not blinded by that. So guys, that's just my little take on why I started this podcast. Again, it is solely based on passion and just the need to share with other persons. And I don't want to be repeating myself, but I really would like to reiterate this part. And that is, passion is the first drive that will lead you into your truth. I may not have said it like that, but remember that. Passion is the first drive. It's the first thing that will lead you into your truth and lead you into the path that you're supposed to tread on. Passion is your first drive that will lead you into your truth. I know a lot of you're procrastinating on your dreams. You are procrastinating on your next move, that master's degree, that car, that house. You, the guy, is waiting on the girl to tell you that she's ready for marriage when y'all have been dating for the past 4 years, 3 years maybe, I don't know. Could get the girl married now, please. You know what I mean? Take the next step. Move forward with your life and just watch God work and be God in your life. And so before I wrap up with what I would consider a beautifully inspirational episode, I want to remind you to walk in purpose. Just as how I followed my purpose, it was a hard road, a long road, but eventually I did it. It brought so much self-fulfillment. It's a beautiful thing. Also remember that action resides outside of your comfort zone. So that business plan that you want to take on, you're not going to stay in your bedroom or in your study room or at the workplace discussing it all the time without taking action. Take action, because action is only going to reside outside of your comfort zone. Next, I want to implore you to mix Jesus in the mix. Put him there. Pray, fast, read your Bible, talk to spiritual believers, persons of your same faith, denomination who you're confiding, and bring some divine blessings into your plans. It's alright, you know, it's really fine to do it. And it's the only way, lastly, you will live at your fullest potential by walking in purpose, living outside of your comfort zone, and just mixing Jesus in everything. Alright, you guys, that's just my little take for the week. It was one of the most difficult things to do, but transparency, I believe in it, and I want my listeners to understand where I'm coming from with this podcast. I wanted you to understand that I am just a regular smuggler person like you, and it's not because I think that I have a lot of self-confidence. That's why I trotted on this path. It's quite the opposite, as was mentioned before. So you guys, just take care of yourself. Have a blessed week. Have a good week. I promise I will be delivering content next week. I won't be missing for 2 weeks. Alright, I promise you that. We're coming back strong and right. Not strong and wrong. We're coming back strong and right next week. So just look out for a real hot topic coming up. Alright. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in another week to the Nanodosed podcast. Say it with me. You have been Nanodosed.